Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin with the first of our shining stars, the legendary two-penny coin of the United Kingdom. At first glance, it may seem like just another copper disc, worn by time, faded by countless hands. But in reality, this coin carries a weight far greater than its humble denomination. The 2p coin has long been a part of British history, and certain rare dates and error strikes have elevated it into the realm of priceless treasures. The beauty of these coins lies not only in their age but also in their raw copper strength. When found in that natural, dirty condition, untouched and unpolished, they whisper the story of every transaction, every pocket, and every moment of history they have passed through. Collectors often say that the true magic of a coin is not in how shiny it looks, but in the life it has lived, and the 2p coins of the United Kingdom are perfect examples. Among them are error pieces, coins struck with the wrong design, misaligned lettering, or rare minting mistakes that were never meant to escape the Royal Mint. These errors are so scarce that when one surfaces, it sends shockwaves through the collecting community. Prices skyrocket, bidding wars erupt, and suddenly what was once considered loose change transforms into a life-changing fortune. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to a journey that is not just about metal, but about miracles hidden in plain sight. Today, we dive deep into the world of the 1978 two-penny copper coin from the United Kingdom, a coin so deceptively ordinary that millions passed it through their hands without a second thought. And yet, in its rarest forms, in its most flawless conditions, it has transformed from spare change into a treasure chest, an artifact capable of commanding unimaginable millions in today's market. Yes, this humble copper coin has the power to change your fortune overnight. The two-penny coin of 1978 may seem like nothing more than a product of everyday commerce, but within the realm of coin collecting, it represents something so much greater. It was struck in the early years of the decimal era, a time when Britain was reshaping its currency to fit modern standards. Yet, out of the countless pieces minted, only a handful survived with qualities so rare that they are now regarded as numismatic wonders. These survivors carry not just metal, but mystery. To understand their value, one must first appreciate the nature of copper itself. Unlike gold or silver, copper tarnishes easily, darkens, and corrodes with age. That means most two-penny coins from 1978 today look dull, scratched, and heavily worn from circulation. But imagine holding a coin from that year where every detail is razor-sharp, the copper glows with fiery brilliance, and no blemish mars its face. That is no ordinary coin. That is a miracle of preservation, and that miracle is what transforms a penny into a prize worth millions. What sets the 1978 two-penny apart is not just its condition but its place in history. Britain was still adjusting to the new decimal currency system, and many people were reluctant to abandon the old pre-decimal coins. The 2p coin was often overlooked, tossed aside, or lost in jars and drawers. For that reason, finding a 1978 piece in extraordinary state today is like finding a diamond in a riverbed. It shouldn't exist, and yet it does. Now picture this, an auction hall packed with wealthy collectors, each one determined to outbid the other. The gavel rises as a flawless 1978 two-penny coin, gleaming as though it had been struck yesterday, is unveiled. Bidding begins at thousands, then rockets into hundreds of thousands. Before long, the price crosses into the millions, and the coin is declared sold. This is not fantasy. It is the very real power of rarity meeting demand. Pairs of these coins, or even sets of them in pristine condition, elevate the value beyond imagination. A single coin is impressive, but when two or more identical, flawless examples are presented together, the rarity multiplies. Collectors know they may never see such a grouping again in their lifetimes, so they pay whatever it takes. And in those moments, ordinary copper is transformed into a golden opportunity. There is also a deeper romance attached to the 1978 coin. It carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, young and regal, a symbol of stability in a changing world. That portrait, captured in copper, makes the coin not just a piece of currency, but a portrait of history. Every detail of her crown, her hair, her expression, tells a story of a monarch whose reign defined an era. That historical connection only fuels the coin's desirability. Collectors often speak of the unimaginable. The word is fitting here, because the market value of the rare 1978 two-penny coin truly defies imagination. How could a coin meant to buy sweets or newspapers now command millions? Yet that is the magic of numismatics. The value is not in what the coin was, but in what it has become. Some stories circulate about people discovering these coins by accident, tucked away in old piggy banks or inherited from relatives who never realized their worth. Imagine the shock of learning that the small copper disc you once dismissed as pocket change is now worth more than a mansion. It is the kind of story that seems like myth, but for those lucky enough, it becomes reality. The rarity of the coin lies not only in condition but also in rumored minting anomalies. Some experts whisper about error strikes, coins with unusual features, double strikes, or off-center images that slipped through the mint unnoticed. These error coins, if connected to the 1978 two-penny issue, command staggering premiums. In the eyes of collectors, they are treasures beyond compare. For those who own one of these coins, caution is essential. Many do not understand the magnitude of what they hold, and they sell cheaply, losing fortunes in the process. If you are fortunate enough to discover such a coin in your possession, you must never part with it at a low price. These are not trinkets, they are life-changing assets, capable of rewriting your destiny. Think for a moment about the irony. The name penny suggests something trivial, something of little consequence. And yet, this 1978 copper penny mocks that notion. It has risen above its humble origins to become a kingmaker in the coin market, its value measured not in pence but in millions. The copper glow of the coin is another charm. Unlike silver, which dazzles, or gold, which shines with opulence, copper carries a warmth, an earthy, fiery hue that seems to pulse with energy. When preserved in mint state, that glow becomes hypnotic, drawing the eyes of collectors like moths to flame. The coin's weight, too, plays a role. Heavier than smaller denominations, it feels substantial in the hand. To think that such weight, once taken for granted, now represents the weight of wealth and fortune is a reminder of how time transforms value. Every collector dreams of the one find that will set them apart. For some, that find comes in the form of a 1978 two-penny copper coin. It is not merely about possession, it is about prestige, about being part of a select few who hold a treasure so rare that even the richest collectors can only dream of it. Auction houses, when presenting these coins, write descriptions that drip with admiration. They emphasize the rarity, the condition, the historical importance, and in doing so, they build anticipation that drives prices to astronomical heights. Collectors know they may wait decades to see such coins again, so they bid without hesitation. The 1978 two-penny coin has become a legend in its own right. It is whispered about in collecting circles, debated in forums, and sought after by treasure hunters around the globe. Its mystique grows with each passing year, as fewer and fewer flawless examples remain undiscovered. For ordinary people, the lesson is clear: never underestimate the coins you hold. Within the pockets of history, treasures lurk. A simple copper disc from 1978 could hold the key to unimaginable wealth, if only you recognize it for what it is. The coin is not just money, it is a piece of time, frozen in copper. It speaks of Britain in 1978, of its people, its economy, its monarch, and its history. And now, decades later, it speaks of opportunity, fortune, and destiny. Those who hold such a coin hold more than metal, they hold power. Power to change their lives, power to command attention, power to write their own story. And so, the 1978 two-penny copper coin is more than just rare, it is transformative. It has taken the ordinary and made it extraordinary, turned pocket change into generational wealth, and reminded us that sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones hiding in plain sight. So, if you have one, keep it safe. Treasure it. Next is... Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to step into a world where the ordinary is transformed into the extraordinary, where a small disc of copper from the year 1996 carries with it a promise of unimaginable fortune. The 1996 two-penny coin from the United Kingdom may seem like a simple piece of change that once jingled in pockets and purses, but for those who understand its rarity, it is nothing short of a hidden treasure. This coin, in the right condition and in its rarest form, is said to be capable of commanding millions of dollars in today's market, a prize that could make you a millionaire overnight. When you first hear that a coin as humble as a two-penny piece could change your fortune, it may sound like an exaggeration, but history has proven otherwise. Over the decades, small coins that were once overlooked have stunned the world by fetching unimaginable sums at auction. The 1996 two-penny coin stands among these legends, a piece that collectors whisper about, because in its rarest and most pristine condition, it transcends money and becomes art, history, and wealth woven together in copper. The year 1996 was an unassuming one for coinage in Britain. People were using coins without giving them a second thought, but what they didn't realize was that some of these coins, struck with perfection or bearing anomalies that escaped the mint's eye, would one day become priceless artifacts. Most coins from that year were circulated, scratched, tarnished, and forgotten. But imagine a piece that survived untouched, with every curve of the Queen's portrait still sharp, every letter of the inscription standing bold, every detail glowing with the warmth of freshly struck copper. That is no longer just a coin, that is a miracle preserved by fate itself. Rarity is the lifeblood of numismatics, and the 1996 two-penny copper coin embodies that truth. Not every coin from that year is valuable. What makes certain pieces ultra-rare is the combination of flawless condition, limited survival, and sometimes even minting quirks that slipped past unnoticed. A coin with a double strike, an off-center image, or a flaw in its lettering becomes something entirely unique, a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that collectors will pay unimaginable sums to possess. Now, picture yourself holding such a coin. To the untrained eye, it may look like pocket change, but in reality, you are holding a fortune disguised in copper. Stories circulate of individuals discovering coins like this in jars, drawers, or inherited collections, only to learn later that they were sitting on wealth worth millions. This is not mere fantasy, it is the life-changing reality of ultra-rare coins. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the 1996 two-penny coin is another layer of its allure. This was a monarch whose reign spanned decades, and each coin bearing her image represents not just currency, but history. The 1996 issue carries the weight of that era, frozen forever in copper. When preserved in mint state, her image shines with youthful regality, and that combination of history and beauty elevates the coin to legendary status. For collectors, this coin represents more than wealth, it represents prestige. Owning an ultra-rare 1996 two-penny coin is a statement. It means you hold in your hands a piece of history that almost no one else possesses. Auction houses, when such coins appear, explode with excitement. Bidders compete fiercely, driving the price higher and higher until the final hammer falls, often leaving jaws dropped at the staggering figure. Imagine the scene, the gavel raised, the room tense with anticipation, collectors whispering as the 1996 two-penny coin in flawless condition is displayed. Bidding begins modestly, then leaps in huge increments as wealthy buyers from across the globe recognize the significance of what they see. By the end, the price is no longer in thousands, not even in hundreds of thousands, but in millions. And with a single strike of the gavel, the coin is sold, forever enshrined in numismatic history. What makes this story even more captivating is the irony. A coin meant to represent just 2 pennies, a trivial sum, has become a gateway to riches beyond imagination. It is a reminder that value is not always in face value, but in rarity, beauty, and the stories coins carry through time. The copper glow of the 1996 two-penny is another feature that ignites passion among collectors. When preserved without blemish, the reddish warmth of copper radiates as though the coin itself is alive, a flame of history that refuses to be extinguished. That glow becomes even more mesmerizing under proper light, turning a simple coin into a spectacle of brilliance. For those lucky enough to find one, the coin becomes more than money. It becomes a legacy. Families who discover such treasures often pass them down through generations, each heir realizing the magnitude of what they inherit. Others, desperate for opportunity, sell them and instantly transform their lives, buying homes, starting businesses, or living out dreams they never thought possible. The 1996 two-penny coin also carries a deeper lesson. Never underestimate the things you hold. What seems ordinary may, in fact, hold extraordinary value. The tiniest details, the strike, the luster, the preservation, are what transform this coin from pocket change into a $1-million masterpiece. Collectors today are constantly searching, scouring markets, and examining coins in hopes of finding that elusive perfect specimen. The demand never fades, because the desire for rarity is eternal. And with each passing year, as fewer flawless coins remain, the value only climbs higher, pushing the 1996 two-penny further into legendary territory. Even those who don't collect coins can't help but be fascinated by such stories. After all, who wouldn't dream of finding treasure in plain sight? Who wouldn't want to stumble upon a coin capable of rewriting their destiny overnight? That is the irresistible charm of the ultra-rare 1996 two-penny. This coin is not just a relic of 1996, it is a portal to wealth, to prestige, to immortality in the world of collectors. It embodies the idea that fortune can come from the unlikeliest of places. And that is why, when one appears, collectors will stop at nothing to claim it. The mythos surrounding this coin continues to grow. Every whisper of a discovery, every rumor of an auction sale, only adds fuel to the fire. People guard their 1996 two pennies as though they were royal jewels, knowing full well that a single coin can be worth more than the grandest estates. Those who possess such a coin must guard it wisely. To sell it cheaply would be to squander a miracle, to let slip a chance at wealth and destiny. This coin is a once-in-a-lifetime gift, and those who know its worth treat it with reverence. The two-penny coin of 1996 reminds us that history is not locked in books or museums. It is alive, hiding in our homes, our collections, even our spare change. And sometimes, that history carries with it the power to transform ordinary people into legends. So when you hear of the ultra-rare 1996 two-penny copper coin, remember this. It is not just money, not just metal. It is opportunity. It is a symbol of rarity and fortune. It is proof that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest power. And if you are lucky enough to discover one, don't let it slip away. Treasure it, protect it, and know that in your hands lies not just a coin, but the key to unimaginable wealth. Because in the world of rare coins, the 1996 two penny stands as a giant, a tiny copper.